It stands for the injustice for all.
Good evening. Thank you all for coming to the May regular school board meeting, Becker. We'll start tonight off with a presentation from the robotics team. Go ahead.
You want to set the microphone or?
Sure, it might be off, but
That rolls.
you can move.
You
Yeah.
can move the podium or the screen.
Well, this rolls. I think we like that rolls if you want us to be at the microphone.
Everything rolls.
Everything rolls.
Can you see the TV or should I?
Yep, we can see it.
All right, so I know most of you, you know most of me, or most of you know me. Alex Urick, teacher here at Becker High School for the last 20 years. Proud graduate of 1997. If this is, I think the second time that
Is
the,
your mic on?
it might not be. It's on. There, no, okay. Thank you for having us tonight. I've got our driver and our lead designer and one of our main builders, kid that's been around since 8th grade, Eli Bring. Charlie's on our impact, our awards part of the team. So she works a lot with our business side, presenting these types of things, and then also putting FRC 4607 in the limelight when we go to these competitions. And I also have Nicole Wentland here, who is one of our mentors, and her sons have come up through this program. So she's here both as one of our mentors and a mom. Impact Robotics. This is kind of what's been going on for the last number of years. Again, 2012 was when we first started. Mr. Kolbinger came in grabbing the hallway and said, there's a bunch of kids that are wandering on Becker High School that have no attachment to the school. Once they leave here, they're gone and we never get that back. 13 seasons, 133 awards and accolades, 10 state tournament appearances, 9 world championship appearances. And along with that, we have 3 state championships and 2 Einstein appearances. And that's really cool. And it's awesome to hang those banners. But really what tells us the story about Becker Robotics is this right here. We've got 122 alumni. 73% of those are in the STEM fields, with NDSU being the biggest piece of the pie here. U of M with 15, U of MD, 12, St. Cloud Tech College 9. And then the most proud that I am, we're still missing one. We've got 5 in the armed forces. But we haven't been able to get one in the Coast Guard yet. I don't know how we've cracked that, but we've got the Marines, Air Force, Army, and Navy all represented, and it's pretty awesome to see these kids go off. The cool thing now is with this group of alumni, they're starting to come back. They're starting to come back to this community. They're kind of starting to come back to help mentor. We've got 5 of our alumni that now mentor 4607. I can't explain how incredible that is. We've got 15 mentors on our team. We've got 20 mentors on our team, 5 of which are alumni. Most teams have a mentor, maybe 2, right? When we take a look at the numbers that we have, the success that we've had, along with the mentors, these students sit in a situation where for every 3 kids, there's 2 mentors available for them on any given night of the week. So anything you'd like to say on that end of things? They're not just here for academia. There's more information that they're going to talk about in just a bit, but this is my slide here. We've been documenting this since the very beginning. Like I said, very proud of what the robotics team's been able to do, and we're starting to grow this into other areas, such as.
Yeah, the break. Do we want to start with the video?
Go ahead. Just toggle out and go to Slack. Finish this game. There you go. So if you don't know what the brick is, we've
Oh,
named
yeah.
the brick.
Yes. We'll go back.
It's the
Becker
Go ahead.
Robotics Innovation Center. As of about 3 weeks ago, it was called the BRA, the Becker Robotics Arena. We're not calling it that anymore. Yeah. So I'll just show you the space before we talk about what we've done with it. The volume. Yeah. Had it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, so that is what the space looks like. If you haven't gotten a chance to come in and actually look at it, highly recommend. We don't bite, come stop by, we can show you the robot. Yeah, so as you can see, 23 FRC teams have been in this space in the last 3 months or so. We currently have a system set up where they can sign up to use the practice field, and then we have students and mentors that are there to basically watch them, make sure they're using the space correctly. We've logged over 250 plus hours of free practice space for these teams. So that's been a big resource. This is the only space like this in central Minnesota, as far as I know. Eric knows more about it than I do.
This fall at the Brick, we used it for the younger students as well. So I helped coach the first Lego League where we have had 60 participants through that time, and we also used it for FTC. So FLL is for 4th through 6th graders, and FTC is for 7th through 9th graders for that piece of it. So it's being used now for FRC, but we also used it this fall for our younger programs as well. So it's been a great space for that.
And when we say 14 events in 1 year, Dr. Schmidt was able to come to what we have called now Shamrock Showdown the last couple of years. 16 teams come in, upwards of 16 teams, and they're there just to scrimmage. When Charlie says this is the only thing like this in central Minnesota, this is honestly the only thing like this in Minnesota. I compare it a lot to the Wool Road and the Edina Ice Setters. Why are those two programs such strong programs? I believe it's because the community invested in them and were able to create a space that we can host this type of thing. When Charlie talks about we have teams coming up and working, I've got a quote from Sam Vieselman, who was the head coach for Fairmont megahertz, 2047. So Fairmont is what,
2 hours and 45 minutes away.
there we go. They had to come through like Kimball area and all that. So his comment on it was, I'm not gonna get to it in time, but if I do, we'll get to the end. But he was so impressed by what's happening up here in central Minnesota with this space, with what the local hubs, alliances, and coalitions, which is like a conference, are doing. The hotbed of robotics in Minnesota is central Minnesota. New London, Spicer, Rocori, Becker, obviously, St. Michael. What else do you say? St. Michael, okay. These teams don't just compete against each other. We're all at the state tournament this next, actually, there's 7 of our hub teams at the state tournament this coming Saturday. And we're all vying for that state title. We all want it. But we want to make sure all of us are competing at the very best. And this, like I said, has been the biggest thing for all of the local areas. It's been absolutely phenomenal to watch this thing come to fruition over the last really 10 years when we started planning for this. We finally got a space like this. We do appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, so last note on that, our community is very supportive of us financially too. The resources we have there are over $20,000 worth of field elements and a lot of hours in designing and constructing all that. So thank you to sponsors who are great in supporting us for things like that. Introduce us.
Yeah, so the PMMI Pack Challenge. Well, PMMI is the largest packaging and manufacturing association, I believe. Yep, and basically what they want to do is introduce the things to younger people. So 3 years ago now, we went down to, 3 years ago. 3 years ago, we went to the Pack Expo to show off our FRC robot, and we saw the Pack Challenge happening. We thought it was cool, so we decided to submit, and there were 60
Over
teams.
60 teams.
Yeah, 60 teams submitted their design, and only 6 were chosen to be finalists and compete. We were one of those 6. So then the year after that, we got to build the machine and go down to Chicago. We won Best in Show as well as the Factory Acceptance Test Award, which meant we also had the best machine, basically. And so from that,
It's our machine back there, by the way, the little thing that says Spruce Packaging in the corner.
Yeah. We worked with Legacy Christian Academy in Andover. And so I spent a lot of time on it myself. I was the main designer for it, as well as traveling to Andover 2 to 4 times a week for 3 months to build the machine. And then we went to Chicago and won, so that was cool. We're working on expanding it in Minnesota. I don't,
We've had a great working relationship with Pac Challenge PMI the last number of years. The reason why we got into this, like Eli had mentioned, we went down there because they invited us as a first team to go and present for first side of things. The students were walking by a bunch of these machines like this, and I'm like, why don't we do something like this? We went and talked to them and said, well, it's really reserved for the Chicagoland area, including Milwaukee and all the way down to Indianapolis. We're not looking for participants from Minnesota or beyond. Told them that that's their mistake. So the teams got together, both Andover and Becker, put together their bid and their proposal, which is quite extensive. The first year of the program, you are putting together the bid based off of what the challenge is. You submit the bid and then they come back. You submit the bid in April, they come back in around August and tell you you're accepted or you're not accepted. So then you have about 3 months to get this thing put together. The cool thing about this is Eli took this from seniors that graduated last year. So there was 4 seniors and 2 juniors that worked on this. And then the seniors graduate, they've got to hand it over. You have to rebuild the whole team and you got to take this bid proposal as just one and you got to retrofit your team to work on it. Now they want us to help build this to 500 teams nationwide. So with our winnings last year, it was just over $10,000 that we were able to take home. Not only that, but they're flying us down to Las Vegas in September, late August, September to go, late September, early October to go and present this machine at their other Pac Challenge. We've got Pac Challenge in Chicago that happens every even year, and then the Las Vegas one that happens every odd year. So now we get to go down and present that as well. So that's where we're at right now with this.
I'll kind of take over then. So robotics is struggling for memberships right now, but we want to make sure that the PMMI Pac Challenge is something that we're still able to participate in. So the Becker Engineering Club is something that we've been talking about for some time now. The hopes is that we can get a group of students together that either isn't particularly interested in robotics because of things they might have heard in the hallways for one reason or another, or just doesn't have the time to commit to it. So this club would be targeted towards like summertime and students would be able to come and go and work on these different engineering challenges. The Pac Challenge is an awesome one and it's one we've been able to get involved with, but there are thousands of these challenges across the country. And there's no reason that we can't get more students involved with these things. As it says, Pac Challenge would become the main event for this club. We did get the new challenge for the next 2 years as of May 1st. So this is something that we could kick off whenever. It's just a matter of getting the students to do it because the robotics team does not currently have the capacity to take this on. And yeah, like it says in the bottom there, we want more students to be able to join these engineering clubs without having to commit to robotics because it really does take a lot of time. So. If you guys don't have anything to add, then we'll just open up to questions if you have anything for us.
I'm maybe just gonna add one thing, kind of as a mentor and a parent. I have 4 boys who aren't much into sports, and if I think about my oldest who just graduated last year, like he wouldn't have had a place at Becker High School, he wouldn't have had an activity, but robotics really became like his family and taught him so many skills that now when he went to UND to go for mechanical engineering, like he jumped right in there and is excelling in many ways and already into his first internship as a freshman. Because he created something that was printed at UMC. UMC learned it was him, they printed the part for robotics and now has an internship through them and things like that. So it's helped him a ton, but my other sons aren't interested in the engineering part. That video was made by my 10th grade son who's into drones, into photography, into making videos. So the cool part about robotics is it's more than just building a robot. There's a spot for a lot of different students within that capacity.
So you talked about the alumni you have working in Becker. How many of your alumni are working in clubs elsewhere?
In clubs, like other teams?
Yeah.
We have Sartell actually as one of our prominent members. Ryan Swanson, who's a 2014 grad and has become a force in the world of robotics. He's taken that team from 5 kids and now they're over 50. They actually have a varsity / JV team, so they can put out 2 robots a year. Beyond that, a lot of our mentors have gone on to other teams and are working with other teams now. It used to be, people joke about Becker being the black hole of mentors, where they would all come here. Well, now we're starting to form other schools and other teams with those mentors as well. So not just alumni, but mentors, yeah.
Even if they're not mentoring, 2 of my favorite people I've ever met are alumni of this team, and I get to see them on a semi-regular basis now, but they're not mentors just because they're not in the position to devote that time to robotics.
Well, I just want to say congratulations to you guys on really all the success. Truly growing a fabulous program like this. I mean, everywhere you go, you hear about Becker Robotics. So I don't know what it is about the water, whether it be robotics, the bass team, or archery. Becker's definitely doing something right, and you guys deserve a lot of credit for the volunteers that you get, the sponsors, all the hard work that you guys do behind the scenes to make this a reality. So I think your front slide, said it, best, the dream finally became a reality, but it's the hard work that you guys put in to make it happen. So congratulations.
Any other questions for him?
Thank you guys.
Thank you guys. Good luck this weekend.
Yes.
Yeah, good luck.
Do you know, are you, that, I have a question, I'm sorry. Brick area,
Yep.
what will you do with that in the summertime here?
Well, to be honest with you, we have Becker Freedom Days that happen shortly after the end of school, and we found out that there is absolutely no, there's no chili dog fest in Minnesota. So we thought, why not have a chili dog fest during Becker Freedom Days, and then open up that space and let people come in and see exactly what this space is. It's very close to downtown. They all laugh. There's a whole song. We have a whole song. You want to sing it? We got a song. It's kind of our anthem now. But that's one thing we'd like to do. We'd also like to be able to run our camps out of there and get it ready to go. The part of the problem is that field that you see setting up, Charlie's partly right. It's $28,000 to purchase just the dasher boards of that field. The carpet is right around $14,000 if you buy new carpet. We don't get to buy new carpet because we can't afford it and we can't find it. It's a first exclusive. So when we go to these different events, we try to get the carpet and haul it back home with us. But when you're having that many events and it's not glued down to the floor and it moves, it starts to stretch that carpet. So we go through carpet. We probably see some in the North Commons. There's some in our war room. We interchange these things the best we can to fit them. Packing down that space is incredibly intensive man-hour wise, and just anytime, it's all aluminum stuff, so anytime that you have to send those aluminum pieces back together, they don't always fit because those 150-pound robots are coming in at 12 to 14 miles an hour. They're hitting it, they're bending things a little bit, so we like to keep it together as much as possible. Do you like taking down a basketball court every time they're done practicing, or removing the goalposts whenever they're finished practicing football and then having to put it back up again? So gaining the space was huge. We really thought that we were going to have that space full time. So it wasn't a loaded question, but you absolutely answered it. I would wait for that one. Yeah. So we'd really like to keep it up because it would allow us to practice. We do have off-season events, like every other sport or activity. If you're going to enjoy the success that we've enjoyed at this level, it's not just a 6-month program. It's not a 6-week program anymore. It's like if we were going to Indiana, we'd be going in July. We'd want to be practicing all along here. So yeah, I would like to have a meeting with you and Rick to talk about what kind of space, what can we use that space for in the future if we can keep that stuff up, because we don't have anywhere to put it. And I would be really leery about having kids running around, and we got a bunch of aluminum panels and polycarb panels just sitting up on the side of the brick there, and they're running around. So yeah.
I think it's a discussion maybe we want to have just to make sure. And it really, my biggest thing is to make sure we're using it. If we're using it, maybe it's going to sit there for 4 months, then we probably should take it down. But that'd be something we need to probably look at. Good.
Well,
all right.
Thank you. All right, moving on to item 2, reports, and start with just the student report. And Charlie, you're all by yourself.
Feel her absence. Okay, in the past month, so last weekend, three Becker track athletes qualified and competed in the Hamline Elite Meet. Carter Reckelberg won the long jump, Owen Angel won pole vault, and Kaylee Thompson placed in the 100-meter hurdles. The girls lacrosse team has been working hard these last few weeks. They're showing great teamwork and hustle during games. They've had some tough losses, but also some great wins, putting their record at 2-4. After going 2-1 in their home tournament this weekend, softball's record is now 8-6. Yearbook is finishing their third and final deadline tonight. They worked hard this last month, finishing up their spring supplement. NHS participated in an Easter egg hunt by placing Easter eggs at homes for children to find the next day. They are also wrapping up their service hours for the year. DECA is mainly focusing on improving their food truck. This includes getting it powered, water, and items to stock it. The spring play just finished their third performance of One Stoplight Town this weekend. All cast and crew members had lots of fun putting on this show and look forward to next year. Alongside the performances, they also had their theater and speech banquet the day of their last performance. Baseball has won 5 games in a row as of May 3rd. Boys tennis has a record of 11-2. Boys golf is ranked 5th in the conference and hosted an event at Pebble Creek last week. Girls golf has had a great month and has 2 conference meets this week. Boys lacrosse has a record of 0-7 but is practicing hard. The rugby teams have been sharpening their skills through drills with veteran players while actively recruiting new people to grow the team. Robotics is wrapping up their season after the World Tournament last April. The bass team has been meeting weekly to continue learning fishing tips, and the Student Council has been finalizing details for spring fling the week before graduation. In the upcoming month, boys track and field will have True Team on Tuesday at Rocori. Both teams are going into the meet with lots of anticipated success. Girls lacrosse is looking forward to their 2 home games this week. This Thursday, softball has their tackle cancer game against Monticello at home. Yearbook will be putting the spring supplement into the bound parts of the book to prepare to hand them out during spring fling. NHS will be having induction day on May 18th and will be holding elections for the new executive board. Baseball is home tonight and has 2 more games this week. Hopefully they will keep a strong winning record. Boys golf has one meet this week on Friday and has a long break with another meet next Friday and sections at the end of the month. Girls golf has a meet Thursday in St. Cloud. Boys tennis will have 2 meets this week in addition to 1 today. Boys lacrosse has a game in Delano this week. The robotics team will be down at the state tournament this weekend, and they hope to secure a win to end the season on a high note for seniors. The Student Council will be meeting tomorrow to make some final decisions for fundraisers and activities to wrap up the school year. Notably, they will be doing a movie on the field on May 23rd at 8:30. The movie will be The Greatest Showman and will be open to the public. I encourage you guys to stop by. It's very cool. And our music programs are in their busy season with the final concerts of the year in the next few weeks. The marching band has also kicked off their practices and is marching out in the parking lot right now. Might have seen them on your way in. So that's it. Any questions?
Any good feedback from prom?
Yes, very highly attended this year. So just good. They did a great job, and with it being the away year, it was a good wrap up for the seniors for sure.
Well, Grad March was fantastic.
Yeah,
You guys did
they
great.
did a great job with it.
Thank you, Trev. Move on, superintendent's report.
We have a meet and confer scheduled for May 14th. Graduation at 7 o'clock on May 30th on the multipurpose field. Plan to be there by 6:30. Talked to Mr. Kraft on that, so they're working on speakers. So they've got 3 people up for speakers. It's just a matter of which spot they're going to take, and so they're working on that part. But they've got all the flowers. They've got the programs, the gowns. Were they distributed last week, maybe, or this week? I don't know when the gowns are going out, but they're here in the office. I saw them at one point.
I haven't seen them yet.
You haven't seen them?
Oh.
There's one gown in there for a 6'6" Michael Jordan, it says on the name. So apparently he didn't play basketball, but yeah. So anyway, they were in the high school office, but all those kind of pieces are being worked out, and hopefully we'll get a better grasp on the weather this year. Or we'll just have a day like today, which would be great. Staff appreciation activities. Oh, excuse me. The end of the legislative session is May 19th. I'm guessing, but I don't know if they're going to be able to finish by that date or not. Unemployment came up last week or week and a half or so. there were some agreements, but then some disagreements, but the unemployment insurance kind of seems to be the hang up in the House of Representatives right now as far as the educational piece, and there's a lot of things on the table. The good news is they're gonna have to come to some compromise. I'm trying to figure out what the benefit is to the Republicans or the Democrats to finish on time. The governor's maybe the only one that needs to finish on time, is just in my opinion again, but they both have a way to blame each other on different things. And so yeah, I'm trying to keep up on some of that with Representative Mecklen's been kind of keeping me in touch too, and some of the things that are going on, but also our legislative updates as well. Lots of things in the air, so we'll see. It could be a crazy finish like it has been the last few years. Staff appreciation activities are taking place this week. We had bagel and cream cheese tomorrow in each building, sponsored by the cabinet. Also having a social on May 7th at Pebble Creek, so that's Wednesday. We'll do some appetizers and things like that, and we're going to draw a bunch of drawings for gift cards. PTSAs also did an appreciation on Monday and did some trail mix and did some drinks and things like that. And we have social media posts going out each group for each group during the week, so those are taking place as well. Summer construction work will mainly be roofing on the high school and primary school, and it's being kind of finalized. It's pretty much finalized, but we're working on and getting excited for that to start here. So, and that will go into next summer as well with the high school. Primary should better finish, I guess, this year.
All right, thank you, Jeremy. Item 2C, committee reports. Corey, you have a curriculum report?
We just met today, actually. We just met today, actually, for a curriculum meeting. Some information or updates on our staff that's going through letters training. Right now, we have 25 staff members that have completed. We'll have another 58 that will complete by November 25. With that phase 2, which is kind of your it's kind of more of your high school staff. We'll be looking at kind of doing that starting next year as well. That letters training that is mandated by the state. So that'll be going on. The other big kind of thing that we're looking at is our curriculum recommendation for our English teachers. So 6th through 8th is recommending to adopt the curriculum Common Lit 360 for their core instruction. There's also some new novels that have been looked at for grades 6, 8, 10, 11, and 12 that have been up for approval. All of that information is going to be on the website to share. But for the 6th grade, there was 2 novels that were kind of there that we just had as a committee, just had a few questions about. One of them was it was a school read already in the elementaries, and do they want to read it again in 6th grade? So is that something they want to do or look at? But again, like I said, all of those novels will be on the district website, posted here tonight or early tomorrow. Otherwise, if you have direct instructor questions, you can always reach out to our Director of Curriculum and Instruction, Carla Nolan, on those as well.
All right, thank you. Any questions for Corey? Pete, you have activities?
Yes, Connie and I attended the activities meeting Monday, April 28th. And it was brought to our attention that we had a new opportunity to get a trainer back in, actually a full-time trainer back into the district, which I know people have been talking about. I believe that Dave came to see Jeremy and Kevin, so I might let them talk a little bit about the financial side of it. Just last year, we did raise fees, activities fees, and we kind of set it up as an every 2-year type deal where we wanted to renew that. So we're gonna have to find a way to pay for the trainer, and we all agree that it's a good idea to have one. And I believe that was the financial piece that Dave wanted to see how we could make it work, because at the end of the day, these people aren't, readily available. When one becomes available, you have to pretty much jump on it. And I think the one that was going to come here already took another job. So yeah. So Connie, do you want to add anything on what extra that we talked about?
It sounds like Dave came to you and you'll cover the cost for next year, and then after that we'll be looking at the increase, and then we'll be looking at probably raising fees again after next year. So.
Yeah, I mean, and we're still historically towards the bottom of the conference and where we're at for fees. So I think a lot of the parents, a lot of the athletes will be happy that we've got this back on the agenda. So
And I think we have to strategically look at who gets what kind of increases, because high school athletics uses it more than, say, you know, the
fine arts,
fine arts and
yeah.
middle school, you know, athletics, just because they're at every one of the varsity games. So kind of looking at different ways we can be creative in that way.
Yeah. Yeah, so more details on that to follow how we can do it, but exciting that we'll have one back on staff through NovaCare.
All right, thank you too. Connie, you have a finance?
Yes, and so Tuesday, we had a finance committee meeting and we went through the revised 24-25 budget along with the proposed 25-26 budget. And so Kevin will be going through those later in the meeting.
Moving on to item number 3, consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to accept the consent agenda in front of us. I will second it.
We have a motion to accept consent agenda. Do we have any questions or discussions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Troy.
Troy, you here?
Yep, I said aye.
Your motion.
Yep.
Item number 4, resolution accepting donations.
Make a motion to accept.
We have a motion to accept the donations. We have any questions or discussion around that? All those in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries. Brings us to item number 6, revised 24-25 budget. Kevin, that's you.
Yeah, so the first item here is the current budget that we're in, and, you know, remember, the original approval was back in May of last year, which we still had some unknowns at that time, so. The biggest changes that are in the general fund is, as some of you know, or most of you know, that we're on the negotiating team, we settled the contracts evenly. And last year's fund balance went up because of that, but we knew we were gonna be spending it down this year because it was not even the way we got the revenue, but the expenditures were even, so. I had to adjust the expenditures for that. The other big change that you'd see in the general fund is under the operating capital. And that's from the primary school roofing, the insurance part of that. Because that'll get finished this year through June, and then there'll be some even next year for July and August. But in the total, the fund balance, what we're projecting to be at the end of this year, 3,269,000 is 8.44% of the fund balance. So we're still within the policy of the board. Food service, we are doing some little bit of changes there. We are putting the freezers in each of the buildings, and we're moving out the centralized food service programs out to each of the buildings so that the cooks will actually prepare all the meals right in each of the own buildings. The one this year is the intermediate. It's actually going on right now. They'll probably finish that freezer here in the next week. And that's what we have to do in each of the buildings because they don't have freezers right now. And then this summer, we're doing the middle schools, and then the next year will be the primary. Community ed, there really wasn't a whole lot of change there for this year. It's kind of a wait and see how we do. The new director, you know, really didn't set any of this up, so next year's budget is going to be hers, and she worked very diligently on next year's, but this year's is more of a, okay, let's see where we end up for this year. And then the building construction, you'll see we're projected to have about 3,100,000 and some thousand, which that right now is really for the existing programs that are, or the existing projects that were out there for all the other buildings. We have a $35,000 retainage on one vendor or contractor. And then we have about 100,000 for the construction managers, which also includes part of the roofing. And then the rest of it, the rest of the 3 million will be going towards the roofing. It's not the total amount, but we have LTFM money that we were saving up to also put towards the rest of the roof. About 700,000 that we'll have that from the LTFM that we've been saving up the last 2 years and next year. Other than that, nothing else really, whole lot of changes, mainly just in that general fund with where the wages went to the different years.
Do you have any questions for Kevin? I'll entertain a motion to accept the revised budget.
I'll make a motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion. We have a motion to accept the revised 24-25 budget. Any questions or discussions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Brings us to item number 6, the proposed 25-26 budget.
Okay, and then, so this is now for next year. The budget, what we have out there, and this one will pretty much spend all the insurance money under that operating capital, so that's why you'll see that fund balance come down to a 47,000 at the end of next year. The unreserved, we have a bunch of reserves there. We'll see where those end up. But then the unreserved, which is that middle column or middle line there, general fund unreserved, projected at a 3,206,000. There's a few more estimates in that one. Biggest portion being the negotiations with what settlements will be, but we'll talk about that at this one, going to the closed one, so we'll talk about that. But projected to still be at 3,206,000. So that percentage goes down a little bit, but 8.25%. But still meeting the board's fund balance policy. And then the food service fund there, you'll see does come down a little bit more because now we're finishing up the middle school project to get theirs in their freezer in their building. And in community service fund, they're pretty much balancing, still showing a decrease in that reserve for community ed did come down a lot, by like 40,000. But we'll see, there's a few things also that I need to talk to Jen Johnson about, the director, that will probably even bring that down more. So. Then the construction fund at the end of June of next year be pretty much spent. It'll just be that last July and August of the roofing project period. And that's still kind of a guess. We don't know exactly how much that'll be, but I gotta put a number out there. It'll be gone by the end of September of 26. And then the debt service fund that's the principal and interest that we levy and then pay the principal interest on our debt. So pretty much a level for there. I don't know if there's any questions on next year's.
Do we know for sure that we're getting a 2.74?
For this year, yeah,
This
for
side.
this first year, yes.
Okay.
We're getting 2.74%. That's in law.
Okay.
We don't know what the second year is.
We just know for next year for sure.
That's still in
It's not
one.
a little bit more or less.
For sure, we
Okay.
don't know yet. They don't set it until February.
Okay.
So next February, they'll set it for
Yep.
26, 27.
But we know the parameters between 2 and 3, right?
Yeah.
Yep, yep, they're between 2 and 3.
Inflation.
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah, they're between.
that's another topic at the legislature that they're talking about as well, whether
Yeah.
it's a freeze on those to not do the inflationary increase. For a couple of years and then bring it back or
Yeah,
to get rid of it.
It's
That's-
set to
I
go
think that's in the
next
UI.
year yet, still to be inflationary rate. Then the next biennium, they said it will go away, but then come back the next biennium. For inflationary.
So
So
we will see.
a little bit unknowns.
All right, no, but I'll entertain a motion for item number 6, proposed 25-26 budget.
I'll make a motion to accept the 25-26 proposed budget.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion to accept the proposed budget for 25-26. Any questions or discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Brings us to item number 7, school board renewal of operating levy authority. This is back for a second month after a 30-day grace period, so I will entertain a motion for item number 7.
Yeah, I just make one last comment about this. You know, again,
Can
what
we
we're
get a
asking.
motion before?
Well,
we
can I make a
discuss?
motion to open this up for discussion, please?
Or I'll make a motion to pass the referendum renewal resolution.
Okay, so we have a motion to pass this.
I'll second.
Okay, now we're up for discussion.
Okay, sorry.
So are we gonna just
I just,
take out Pete's motion, just so I wanna make sure, because Angel had confusion last month. So I wanna make,
Yeah.
are you okay with that, Pete? That
what's that?
we go with Connie's?
Yes,
motion?
yes, I'll,
Okay.
I'll make a motion to remove my motion.
With a signal vote. Okay, that's, yeah, thank
All
you.
right,
Okay.
go ahead, Pete.
I'd like to make a motion to open this up to discussion. Again, I brought this up again last week, or last meeting. Again, really what we're deciding here is to extend this 10-year levy out another 10 years without letting the public vote on it. So, and the bottom line, I don't think this is a routine matter. In 2015, voters approved a 10-year referendum, not a 20-year one. Now, we're been granted the authority to, commit that to them to another 10 years without their input. So I just don't think it's a decision we should take away from the public. Because at the end of the day, it is their money, it's their schools, it's their future. I believe they deserve a say in it. So that's just kind of my thoughts on it.
So we've had 30 days. Have we heard from anybody on it? We've had 30 days. Have we heard from anybody?
I
Have
have
you,
heard,
has anybody?
I've asked quite a few people what they thought, and they just think it would be irresponsible to go through the motions of having an election when, I mean, we're not raising any, we're keeping everything the same, and everybody that I asked said, of course we would, and because we can't. If we don't do this, do we get rid of 10 teachers? I mean, it's crazy to think that we're, not crazy that we're discussing it, but that anybody wouldn't pass this for our kids, so I don't think it's a stretch, and I think we just need to pass it.
Yeah, we're not raising anything. We're keeping it
That's cool.
static. So I feel as a board member, that is part of our job.
No, and I respect your guys' opinion on it. I just, we generally discuss, daily and yearly and policies. We normally don't make 10-year decisions for the voting public. So, I know that we've had discussions about if people don't like it, they can vote us out and things like that. I just don't think elections are about passing the buck. I think it's the public's way where they can be involved in decisions. It's personal to them, right? It's their kids, it's their families, it's their communities. It's kind of unlike cities where, we all, the whole general public use things that cities buy, but for school districts, it is personal to a lot of people. So, and it's one of the only ways that they can have a say in how their tax dollars are ran. So, again, I respect everybody's opinion, but I just wanted to make sure that, everybody understood where I was coming from too.
And I appreciate that. And I'm kind of on the fence. I agree with you. Like, Yeah, I mean, let's give them a chance to vote, but then also with Ryan, like. It seems like a waste to go through all the work to have. 1,700 people come vote to extend what we're doing. And I think we have a hard, if we're gonna go for a referendum, I think we'd have a hard time saying, let's do it. Status quo, I think we'd probably be asking for more if you look at our budget. So.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt it would be a risk. I understand the risk factors behind it, but you know, at the end of the day, that's kind of what democracy is. You know, it's, you know, you ask people, you know, it's a system for the people, by the people.
So we extended it for 30
Yep,
days.
yep, and I,
So how many people
nobody
did-
showed up.
How many people did you hear from?
Just the people that I talked to, probably, you know, two handfuls of people.
The same
I
people.
also know that we struggle sometimes getting word out to the community, and no matter what it is, whether it be sports or extracurricular activities or clubs or open houses, but. You're right, people had an opportunity to come and speak, and there's nobody here, can't deny that.
So. All right, any further questions or discussions? All right, call the vote. All those in favor of accepting school board renewal of operating levy authority, say aye. Aye. Opposed?
Yeah,
Motion carries. Brings us to item number 8. Pursuant to Minnesota statute 179.8.01 to 179.8.25. The school board has the right to close sessions to discussion negotiations. So we'll be heading to closed session. We'll return to the table to close our meeting at the end of that. So thank you.